I'm serious. This is not okay.
Oh, man. I just knocked over my camera. I'm picking it up. Sorry about that.
Hi my lovelies, and welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be pretty self-explanatory. A while ago, some of you may remember, check it out if you haven't, because I know there's a lot of new people here, but I did a Gay Awakenings tier list, and ever since then, you guys have been kind of asking non-stop if I could just do like a generic cartoon characters tier list, since same concept, Gay Awakenings is just more specific. In a way, you could say these are one of the same thing. So I asked you guys on my Instagram and community tab who your cartoon crushes are, and I got some pretty unhinged responses, so let's jump right into it. First we have the Kratt Brothers. This was like the most requested one, I swear to God. Yes, the Kratt Brothers are real people, but they were in a cartoon called The Wild Kratts. That's why they made the list. And I have to ask, like, damn, was this a universal experience or something? Maybe I like missed the memo. Personally, I've never seen The Wild Kratts, and I was gonna go on this whole tangent about how it was kind of like after my time, but my God, this show has been on since 2011 and it's still going. I did grow up with the Kratt Brothers though. I just watched Zaboomafoo. Which, did you guys know that the lemur died? I remember explaining this to my friend like 6 months ago, and she was like, Lula, you do know he's not real, right? But he was. His name was Jovian. Typically, lemurs' life expectancy is like usually around 30 plus if they are in captivity, which he was. He was at the Duke Lemur Center in North Carolina, but unfortunately, Jovian did die of kidney failure at 20. It's funny this was suggested so much because I was just kind of debating this in my head. On my Google form for video ideas, someone brought up the Kratt Brothers and wanted me to cover it, and that got me thinking that I could do like the evolution of the Kratt Brothers because they've done other shows like Spoomafoo. I don't know what other stuff they've done. I don't know. I thought it would be interesting. But then I was like, I don't think my subscribers would actually be familiar with them. Clearly I was wrong. So like, let me know if you guys actually want to see that, because I will definitely do it. But yeah, we're gonna rank the Kratt Brothers, I think, a solid B. I am a lesbian, so I don't personally relate to the attraction, but I definitely see the appeal in these guys. And I really like them on Zaboomafoo, so I will give them that. Catra from She-Ra. Now, I've never had the chance or like the opportunity to talk about this show on my channel,
but boy, we go way back. I have a deep and complicated history with this show.
You know who my favorite character was? Catra. I can't believe I'm actually gonna admit this, but thinking back to when I was a fan of the show, it made me remember that I had an editing account, like a She-Ra one, in 8th grade, and I got locked out of it, and I can't like delete the account. So I just, let's take a look. So much to unpack here. The bio?
If Catra's a furry, she's pretty hot.
I don't even have words. Like, she's so gorgeous in this scene. I can't get over it. Is she not dying? I don't remember the exact context of this scene because it's been a hot minute since I've watched the show. But like, did Hordak almost kill her in this scene? And this is like an edit to Billie Eilish. This is definitely a sad edit.
Help. I've lost myself again.
So like, was I just having like a hard time coming up with the caption? Okay, yeah, someone commented, she's dying, the fuck? And my ass goes, I know, but she still looks breathtaking. What? Why was I so down bad? Lula, stand up. Also, why did I ratio them? Anyway, shout out to Woosley. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. And oh my God, why is this person literally so cool? I swear to God, I actually saw this person's Branch cosplay on my For You page the other day, which is really ironic considering the end of this video. That was foreshadowing. We're moving on. Well, let me rank her first. Anyway, for nostalgia purposes, I am gonna rank Catra an A. I might regret not putting her higher when I watch this footage back, but too bad. On a totally different note though, Bloo from Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends. I'm sorry. Are we talking about the same Bloo here?
Did you know he's a toe picker? Pick my toe, it's hot.
Toe picker? I'm a toe picker. I'm a hot toe picker.
It's hot in Topeka.
I really wanted to reference that scene in my last tier ranking, but I didn't get to, so I'm doing it here. I mean, hey, I'll give you credit where it's due. You could have said Bob from Monsters vs. Aliens, but you didn't. Hope I'm not giving you ideas. Wait, hold on. How old is he? Let's research, mama. Matt created Bloo when he was 3 years old, meaning by the start of the series, they had been creator and creation for 5 years. He's 5? Okay, but is Bloo really 5, or was he just created by Mac 5 years ago? Because I, imagine... Okay, I'm sorry. I imagine that you can create imaginary friends of any age, especially if you take into account that one like fan theory about how Madame Foster's imaginary friend is actually Frankie Foster, and the reasoning for creating her to begin with was to help up with the home now that she's getting older. Did we need to get into all of this? No. The moment I read this, he was gonna go into F tier. Not because I don't like Bloo as a character, I just no. However, thinking about this and going down into this like rabbit hole was really getting me thinking, and I'm almost tempted to like decipher the lore of imaginary friends from this universe now. A big goal of mine this year, I did mention this in my Making Fiends video, is I want to rewatch like a lot more shows from my childhood this year. Now, Eda the Owl Lady on the other hand.
Yes, I need her so bad.
Why was I so down bad? I just think Eda is so fucking cool. When the Owl House like first started, I didn't know whether I wanted to be her or like be with her, but I think it's a bit of both. Also, fun fact, the Owl House began on my birthday. Literally my show, I'm telling you. Right off the bat, this is going to be an ultimate S tier for me. Looks are one thing. She's kind of just devouring in that department, but I just admire Eda so much like as a person. And I know she's not a human. You get what I mean. Also, this found family trope, I miss them so much. I totally get why Luz could trust Eda with her life so quickly and, you know, for that reason kind of chose to stay in the demon realm. She's like that super cool aunt that everyone wishes they had. And if I were Grunkle Stan, I don't think I'd be able to get over Eda either. I mean, the woman's mesmerizing. Like, I am kicking my feet, you know, twirling my hair and banging my head against the wall. And while we're on the subject, I can't not bring up her Harpy Eda form. Genuinely one of the coolest like character designs I've ever seen. Also, this character arc of her being able to kind of manifest this form of Harpy Eda was really, really important for her character. And then because the curse ends up being split with Lilith, Lilith actually gets a Harpy design as well in the finale, and it's just as cool. Anyway, Bad Apple from Veggie Tales. Thank you. Thank you. Like, I'm so serious. I was actually talking about this on live a few weeks ago, but as you guys know, I'm autistic, and my first special interest was actually Veggie Tales. My first concert was the Veggie Tales live show when I was like 3. And I even dressed up as Larry the Cucumber for Halloween. Kind of need to recreate that costume someday, for the camp of it all. However, my favorite thing by far had to be his superhero persona, Larry Boy. And the appearances of Larry Boy in Veggie Tales were known as the Adventures of Larry Boy. And Bad Apple was like the villain or Larry's nemesis in the film Larry Boy and Bad Apple, or it's an episode, but it's like 40 minutes long. It's always funny looking back on how I was like so obsessed with Veggie Tales because I'm not really like religious whatsoever. I don't even think I realized the show was like super religious until years later. Honestly, was just there for a silly fun time with my favorite veggies. And Bob? And speaking of silly, I don't know about you, but Silly Songs with Larry went platinum in my household. I would love to make a video about the adventures of Larry Boy someday. Like, I have a plush of Larry Boy in my attic. I'm pretty sure it would be perfect for the background of that video. And I actually found out the other day that they're making a new Larry Boy film in 2026. But guess what? I don't know if you guys have been keeping up. The creators of Veggie Tales are really not in charge of anything. They don't have any involvement with it anymore. It's really sad. And a big example of that is this movie. One of the creators of Veggie Tales, Phil, actually found out this 2026 Larry Boy movie was happening through Twitter, which it's like, why even do it? If you're not gonna involve the people who created Veggie Tales, why do it? Getting back to Bad Apple though, at first when I looked at Bad Apple and like saw this singular frame, I was like, don't mind if I do. But then I saw this frame, and honestly, I'm terrified. I totally forgot she's actually an apple. Well, no, I didn't mean like that. I forgot the part about how she's an apple crossed with a spider somehow. She has these like mechanical legs that remind me of one of the toys that Sid made in Toy Story. And she can actually spin like spider webs. There's a scene where she's like hypnotizing Larry with chocolate while she, you know, spider webs like his whole, secret lair. Like, I need to understand the lore behind this because like, how is that even... how did she get this ability?
She's an apple. I mean, she's a bad apple.
I was thinking about ranking her an A when I first saw her, but then I remembered the fact that she's a spider and it's giving me an ick. I don't understand. So I think I'm gonna rank her like a low B because I think C is like putting her way too far down. Moving on though to more evil women. We have Queen Chrysalis from My Little Pony. Wow, I've never had an original experience in my life. My relationship with My Little Pony is really weird. Like I grew up watching G3, G2, forgot about it for like a couple years. And then I got into G4 when it like came out for like a solid year or two. And then after that, I just insisted that I didn't like it anymore. I brought this up in the beginning of like my recent LPS video, but for a long time I felt really ashamed about my childish interests. I have a video of me from like 4th grade and it's like a Christmas tree tour, and I have like all my same ornaments from my childhood that have like a lot of animated characters like SpongeBob and G3 My Little Pony and Hello Kitty and things like that. And in the video, as I'm like pointing them out on my Christmas tree, I literally say that I hate all of them, which is just a lie. It's a really fucking sad video. But anyway, I remember giving a bunch of my like My Little Pony toys to my friends in like 4th or 5th grade. I know I said I was into My Little Pony for a solid year or two, but it was more like when it first came out, I'd watch it on and off. And then I had a year, I think it was like 2013, 2014, where I just watched it all of the time. Like I was just really obsessed with it. But I had all these like those Thai My Little Pony plushes, and then these like, you know, infamous My Little Pony ponies with the hair. I only kept Pinkie Pie. I still have Pinkie Pie. I don't have any of the other ones. I gave them all away and I regret it. And that's the earliest memory I have of like being ashamed, which is just crazy because I was a child. I was like 10 or 11. But because of this too, I only really got into like the first 3 seasons of My Little Pony Friendship is Magic. I remember watching the season 2 finale, which I think is where Queen Chrysalis was first introduced. Don't get me wrong, I knew she was supposed to be evil and that I was supposed to hate her, and objectively she was probably supposed to look scary, but all I ever hear is people saying they had the fattest crush on her. Same with Discord. That's a whole other can of worms though. So yeah, I am people. I will be ranking her B tier. She's a horse.
Please, guys, she's a horse. Actually, she's a changeling.
Yeah, okay. I'm sticking to B for my own dignity. I don't even know how to introduce this next one. The Nesquik Bunny from the 2000s. I can't even lie, I laughed out loud the first time I read this one. God, I haven't thought about the Nesquik Bunny in years. And the funniest part about me including this one is I've never had chocolate milk. Fellow autistic people, you will get it. I feel like almost every autistic kid has that one food, or in this case a drink, that they've just never tried and will just be like, oh, I don't like that when someone asks them. And I think for me with chocolate milk, it's because I just wasn't a big fan of milk unless it was in cereal. However, I do remember the Nesquik Bunny because he was everywhere. I feel like products that have a fun animated character as their mascot will just always get my attention. Like I refused to be even like 6 feet within a Danimal, but you bet your ass I was eating up those commercials. And I remember wishing I could have entered the Zach and Cody Danimal sweepstakes. If you know, you know. Anyway, let's take a look and refresh my memory real quick. Okay, wait, okay. No, if people are allowed to have a crush on Bugs Bunny, this should be socially acceptable, right? Okay, but why does this fit go hard? The rollerblades are everything, yeah. Okay, I think you actually have me convinced. Dare I say A tier? Dare I say A tier? Yeah, the person under this comment thread is actually gonna judge me so hard. Next, you're gonna say Chuck E. Cheese. He's right behind me, isn't he? And sure enough, Charles Entertainment Cheese? Charles Entertainment Cheese. Really? But specifically when he had a snapback. Let's take a look. Oh my god. Okay. You know, no. It's the damn hat. It's the hat. It's just like the Nesquik Bunny. No, I'm not falling for this. Okay, you know what's funny though? This era of Chuck E. Cheese, that's the one I grew up with. And I have a photo of him with me at my 4th birthday party, and I'm wearing a VeggieTales shirt. Also, can we talk about how like this era of Chuck E. Cheese, arguably the best? I mean like the design of his character. I don't really know about the logistical stuff. I know someone's gonna comment that I'm wrong. I really like this design, so it's my favorite and I grew up with it. But they gave this man, he is actually not a man, he's a rat. Hope this helps. The biggest glow down of all time after this point. Like he was at his peak and then that That's not even a rat anymore. That's a mouse! No, because the progression of Chuck E. Cheese is weird. Because why does he continue to be, he shifts more and more into a mouse as the years progressed. Anyway, C tier. Another heavily requested one was Shego from Kim Possible. So my only role for this video was no minors because I'm 19. I had a specific tier in my Gay Awakenings video for characters I used to have a crush on, like when I was a kid. So when I kept seeing this, I was like, no one's listening to me. But then I look it up. Shego is 23. Or specifically mid-20s to early 30s. There's not really a set in stone age that's like confirmed for this character. And I was like baffled when I first saw this because I will admit, I thought she was Kim's age like the entire time. Because I believe Kim is like 16? Okay, yeah, she's 14 to 15 in season 1, 16 in seasons 2 and 3, and then 18 in the last season. That's why I'm like kind of disturbed now because do you know how often, like just being on the internet for years, I've seen people shipping Shego and Kim Possible? 23 and 15?
Of course, so just walk straight out of the mall, turn left, go to the police precinct, and ask the same question there.
Whoop, whoop, that's the sound of the police! Anyway, yeah, you guys are valid for this one. I agree. I'm gonna have to rank her S tier. She's literally my type, what can I say? Gwen from Total Drama was literally my Gay Awakening, so you guys should not be surprised by this. Shego is also voiced by Nicole Sullivan, so maybe I'm just a little biased because Joan of Arc is one of my favorite characters ever. I'm not gonna be able to like ever rewatch Kim Possible without hearing Joan, which, yeah, Joan came first, so okay, I guess that's fair. It's like when I saw Kristen Schaal as Mabel in Gravity Falls. Her voice is so recognizable that I just hear Mabel every time, and that's the same for people who saw her in Bob's Burgers first or saw her in BoJack Horseman. You just associate the voice actor with like one character. When you have a voice that's like that recognizable. Megamind. My answer, it may surprise you. Automatic S tier. Do you want me to lie? The thing about Megamind is this movie really used to confuse me as a kid. Like, it stood out to me simply because I genuinely liked Megamind, like, as a character. His whole life, he was really disregarded, and that was a part of what got him to where he was today, or not today, where he was in the movie, when we see his story, like, starting to unfold. Megamind has, like, the same charm as Doofenshmirtz from Phineas and Ferb. They have those, like, deep backstories that make you sympathize with them, and it never seems like they can do anything right to the point where they're even terrible as villains. Outside of the evil doing, they're also genuinely likable characters or likable guys. Also, can we talk about Megamind's outfit? I'm sorry, unironically, it goes so hard. Like, I'm sorry if this is wrong of me to say, but he's absolutely badass. Schnitzel from Chowder. Man, I never thought about it like that before. I don't know, he kind of goes hard with the mohawk. Yeah, I'm definitely hearing you out. I don't know, I just think he has such a way with words. But Lula, he has 33 seconds where he talks out of the whole series. Okay, and? Okay, but does anyone remember that, like, one episode where he made a dirty joke? Because to this day, I still wonder what he said. I still wonder what the joke was.
Oh my, Schnitzel! You're naughty, naughty boy.
And it's funny because even though he, like, doesn't speak any words, you can tell he was like, okay, so...
Oh, I'm sure it's perfectly fine to tell around small children. Go on. Rather.
Totally see the vision. I remember Schnitzel being one of my favorite characters of this show. So I think Schnitzel is a high B tier for me. Now, you know there had to be at least one Total Drama one on here. Blainely from Total Drama. Yeah, that's a sentence I did not think I'd be saying in this video. Some of you are probably familiar with like my thoughts on Blainely already, but I cannot stand her. A lot of people in the fandom, like I have noticed, really like her. So in the past, I really have tried to like her, but I'm sorry. She just has like the most garbage personality ever, which I think is kind of the point in a way, so like I can't really be mad. But bottom line, she's just more annoying to me than she is funny. I mean, going back to Queen Chrysalis, who also sucks, I get the perspective for sure. It is truly just her personality that's gonna make me rank her the lowest on this whole list. But you know who I realized she reminds me of? Low-key Brooke Hayes. Like, if Brooke Hayes grew up and ended up getting a job in Hollywood, and just like Blainely, she's actually a piece of shit, so she gets exposed on live television, and nobody seems to actually like her. So for this one, I see the vision. You are definitely valid for that, but for me, like, no. Hard pass. Evelyn from Incredibles 2. My god, I'm so glad I have an excuse to talk about this. Has anyone also been seeing, like, the Incredibles discourse on Twitter this week? I have seen so many people on my timeline saying they hated Incredibles 2. I don't know if I'm just like really blinded by nostalgia or something. Like, I watched Incredibles 2 back when it came out in 2018. I know sequels are infamous for not being able to live up to their original films, and by no means am I like claiming that it was better than the original, which is just probably not true. I guess it just took me by surprise though to see how many people actually hated it, because I feel like I've just seen worse sequels for movies. But let me know how you felt about Incredibles 2 in the comments. But back to Evelyn, this movie focuses heavily on Helen, I believe, and I think Evelyn is the villain. But the first thing I thought when I saw her was,
Roxy from Megamind, is that you?
funny enough, if you Google Evelyn and you look at like the overview photos, there's like a comparison image of her and Roxanne. At first, I like wasn't too sure what my thoughts were because it has been a while since I've seen the movie. I Googled her, I'm like, she's really pretty. And then I went on TikTok and decided to see if anyone had made any edits. I'm kicking my feet and swirling my hair. Also, why do her and Helen low-key have chemistry? Am I deranged for saying that? As far as ranking goes, I think S might be pushing it. I think I am gonna put her in high A tier. And honestly, this has really gotten me in the mood to rewatch Incredibles 2. Is there like gay chemistry that I missed in 2018? And lastly, we have Branch from Trolls. Now, I'm gonna be honest guys, he's not doing it for me. I mostly wanted to include this one because one, I cannot escape trolls on social media. It's everywhere. And two, my next video is actually going to be all about the evolution of trolls as a brand. I think my thing with Branch at the moment is I haven't seen Trolls 2 or 3 yet. I did see the first one back in 2016. I don't remember much. So since I haven't binged the movies yet, which don't worry, I will. I can smell the comments. I'm actually going to be watching them in preparation for that video this next coming week. But because of that, when I currently think of Branch, I think of Justin Timberlake. Ew! Also, Branch is like a whole different person in like the third Trolls movie if you compare it to the first. I mean, not as someone who's watched it, but just looking at him physically, you can tell. My Trolls headcanons. Some sad, some random. There used to be such a Trolls hate train, and I don't even think I hated Trolls. I think I just hated Can't Stop the Feeling by Justin Timberlake. Let's normalize hating Justin Timberlake instead of Trolls. So for now, he's just gotta go in D tier. I'm sorry, but Justin Timberlake, ooh, gives me the ick. But I am confident that I will like this character. I've seen quite a few people talking about how they don't like Justin Timberlake, but they like Branch, and it's like this weird thing of, oh my god, they're the same. Well, not actually the same, but like he's voicing Branch. Plus, the clips I've seen are absolutely hilarious. But anyways, thank you so much for watching. There will be no video next week since this next video is going to be a bit on the longer side. But stay tuned for that. I will be posting updates on my community tab. And as always, I will see you guys in my next video.